This part is a little unscripted, so it's gonna be a little whack. Hey gamers. Today, we are gonna be doing something I've been kinda meaning to try for a while. So basically, what we have here, we have every single major Silver versus Trunks animation. Seeing as Silver is my son, and he loses most of these, you can imagine how it makes me feel. So anyway, the goal of this is to review every single Silver versus Trunks animation and see how they stack up to the inevitable death battle, which I will also be covering, though at the time I'm writing this and recording this, it's not out yet, but we'll see. But we'll see how this goes. There's not really much high hopes. And also thank you to Call Me Kodo and TJ Man for watching these with me. Leave the Google Doc, we wrote everything down in the description, so you can read their thoughts if you'd like to. And also, I think Pick might be writing some things down too. I don't know. Anyways, let's get on with it. So, I don't really know how I feel about this starting with their super forms immediately. The rock thing is kind of cool, but didn't really need it twice. It gets a little boring. And it also takes up half the fight for some reason. That's awesome. Very cool, very creative. Silver grabbing the spring here was kind of cool, but really Silver's power usage here only amounts to him throwing shit around. A recurring problem throughout every single one of these is the really uncreative use of Silver's powers. It mostly just amounts to him like throwing shit. It's not really much else. There's none of his ESP, there's no creative uses of his psychokinesis at all, there's none of his psychic knife shit, there's no psychic barriers, nothing. Literally nothing. It's just he throws shit. Awesome. And also, what was Silver going for here at the end? He just brushes in and fucking dies. Like, come on. Like, what was your plan, Silver? Trunks also hardly ever uses his sword, too. Wonderful. Very cool. Very awesome. Very creative. The majority of this animation is just Silver just kind of gets kicked around, and then half of it is just he throws rocks. And also, why did he get hit by these rocks? Like, he's the one controlling them. And also, the rocks don't have an effect for him controlling them. There's no fucking psychic overlay over them or anything. Very cool. Him getting hit by them is really stupid, considering he's the one controlling them! Yeah, they're not tracking. That's not how his powers work. The kill's pretty underwhelming, too. I mean, Silver just kind of charges in, gets comboed with the sword, and then dies to the burning attack, sure. Trunks being worn out at the end is fine, though. Silver actually put up kind of a fight. I don't know. It's well animated, but really, there's nothing else really going on here. Hey guys, Future Eve here, definitely not in the middle of editing and definitely not realizing I forgot to give this a score. 5 out of 10, sure. Okay, 1 minute melee. Woo! I like how it happens alongside Shadow vs. Vegeta, that's pretty neat. That's kind of a thing with 1 minute melee too. I really like the sense of continuity that the series has. Overall, big step up from the DBX. The action, very fast, very fun. I enjoy more how Silver weaponizes his surrounding here, even if it still amounts to him throwing shit, but at least he's actually doing something with the environment. Trunks starting the fight disarmed was pretty cool. I think it was a pretty neat way to go about it, and him using the burning attack to knock Silver into the sword to get it back is also pretty cool. Although you can't really tell here what's going on here, it kind of goes by too fast, and it's not really framed the best, but whatever. It's cooler. We're gonna go with that. Silver avoiding Trunks' first real strike with the rock shadow in his silhouette. Awesome. Great stuff. The bit with Trunks slicing this rock here over and over, this is like the one acceptable it's no use I'll take. It's funny, it's clever, it's creative. I like it. It's really charming, and then the bonk at the end just kind of sells it. It really needs that sound effect though, but I'll live. Them dodging each other's attacks here, teleporting out of the way is really cool. I kind of wish it lasted a little longer though. I think more fights in general should kind of do this thing. I know there's some other fight that did this, but I can't really think of it right now. If I remember when editing, I'll put it on screen, sure. This blast here, looks a little weird. I don't know. The background doesn't really move at all. Just kind of feels like Silver's firing it, which is not really happening. Speaking of this sequence, Silver really only has one sprite for getting hit here. He just kind of, just spins around. Sure. The build up to the kill is really good, but I don't know, something about the final hit itself feels really lame. I think the biggest problem with this animation specifically, and I guess this kind of applies to everything else, this really feels like Trunks featuring Silver, if that makes sense. Silver spends a lot of the fight getting absolutely bodied, and while he does get some really big moments, he kind of gets shit on for the rest of it. Not a fan of that. Also not a fan of no Super Silver at all to help him out here. Okay, sure, like, the fight kind of sets up why he wouldn't, but it's still kind of lame. But Trunks, though, ooh, oh boy, I sure do love Super Saiyan Trunks versus base form Silver. I get that around the time of this animation was made, there were no fucking edits for normal Trunks without Super Saiyan, but like, they could have made some. It shouldn't be too difficult. I say that as I have multiple custom sprites I have not finished. We're not gonna talk about that. Actually, no, yeah, we are gonna talk about that. This is a pretty professionally made show. They should be able to have the resources to make custom sprites. Look at fucking Yank vs. Bakugo. Those sprites are completely custom. Madara vs. Aizen. Those sprites are completely custom. Saitama. Everything about Saitama is completely custom. They could have edited the sprites to have hair here. On the topic of custom sprites, actually, I think it's really, really funny how this is very clearly just an edited sprite or a recolored sprite of Sonic from behind. That's hilarious. It's not even Silver's quills. Come on.
Really, there's no excuse.
I think the biggest problem, though, with this animation is the characterization of both Trunks and Silver. There is not a single fucking timeline where Silver would ever say some shit like, "Oh, prepare to die a shameful death." Like, no, that is not a Silver thing to say. The only Sonic characters that would say something like this are like fucking Infinite or Mephiles or something, like, but not Silver. Silver's the last person who would say this. And also Trunks mistakes Silver for an android, which is, okay, sure. He looks nothing like the other androids, but I mean, alright, sure. We needed the fight to start. Fine, whatever. And yes, this is not a nitpick. This is a huge issue considering this is the entire way the fight starts. Like, it's the entire setup to what leads into everything else. I think it needs to be more thought out than whatever the fuck this was. It's honestly kind of bastardization of the two. Overall, like, the action is solid, but this is not Silver the Hedgehog to me. Or at least with his character. The fight itself is fine. Overall, like, it's about a 7 out of 10. The action was cool, but the bastardization of the characters and it being really skewed in Trunks' favor kind of drags it down for me. Oh, also Save the Future is pretty cool too. I forgot to mention that. Moving on. Somehow, this is the worst one so far. Boy, I sure do love me a minute-long animation where half of it is setting up and then the other half of it's the actual fight itself. Nothing happens! Silver looks stupid when he does these beam attacks. His eyes are facing the complete wrong way twice this happens. What the fuck? Also, this is not a problem with the animation. It kind of is, actually. Yeah, it's a problem. I hate these sprites. I don't like the way they look. I mean, they look fine when it's like Shadow or Knuckles in this art style, but I don't know. Silver does not match this style at all, and also clashes really hard with the JUS Trunks, sure. And also, I'm really big fan of how there's not a single use of Silver's psychic powers here, except for this one instance where he grabs Trunks. It's all physical. It's like Strange versus Fate. He's not a physical fighter. He's more fucking uses powers. Come on. Future Eve here once again, wanting to mention that he doesn't even spin dash. Bro doesn't even spin dash throughout the entire fight. One of the core fundamental features of the Sonic characters is not even in the fight. Oh my fucking god! Like, he doesn't even do the bare minimum of throwing shit. He just grabs him and then brings him to him and then he kicks him. It's like, whoa, I'm clapping! 20 seconds later, Silver gets bodied, then the emeralds come out of nowhere. He goes super, sure. Completely different art style to the previous sprites, by the way. Nice job, guys. He hits Trunks a few times before Trunks goes Super Saiyan, and then they clash here. Silver dies. Lovely. And also, why the fuck is Trunks turned around here? Bro is just facing Silver, and now all of a sudden, when Silver goes Super, he turns around for this dramatic shot? Like, what? So the setup is really stupid. Like, the city looks fine. What is there to worry about? Why is Trunks coming here a problem? Why is Silver here? Why is he so insistent on protecting the timeline? Is this the timeline after he already saved it? Which sure, that's fine, but no, it's stupid. 3 out of 10. Fuck off. Oh boy, cartoon fight night! Oh, I love me some character stills! Unfitting voice clip here. The dialogue overall is just really, it's really stupid. This effect here looks like Trunks is flying off in the wrong direction. Oh, nice job. Why are there so many shots of this jump just standing there fucking powering up? Man, I love this. This is so fun and dynamic. And also, when they clash here, it's so unbearably slow. At the very least, it makes better use of Silver's powers in the Limit Break Showdown. Also, oh my fucking god, the ending is so cringe. Please fuck off. It's hilarious. It's so fucking hilarious. It's so funny. The fucking watch party died when this scene came on. It's so stupid. Fuck off, man. Also, the gun is really funny, though. Why does he have this? Whatever. I like this more than the Limit Break, but that is 100% ironic enjoyment. This fucking sucked. 2 out of 10. I am 1/3 of this review.